to the first official episode of podcasting until Ragnarok. I waited to start because of, everything going on in the world. I didn't feel that it was appropriate to begin posting yet, as I didn't want to take away from the important things that are happening that we need to be aware of. As of right now, I don't have a schedule yet because my parents are sometimes working from home and sometimes not, and it's a little bit difficult to record when everybody's home. So for right now, I'll just be posting and recording when I can, but I'll do my best to keep everybody updated. Okay. So just a couple things first. Happy Pride Month. I know it's June and it's very important. Also, Black Lives Matter should not be controversial to say that. It is not politics, it is human rights. And I'm just going to take a moment. If anybody is homophobic, transphobic, racist, white supremacist, neo-Nazi, whatever, here's your chance to leave because you are not who I want listening to my podcast. Okay, hopefully those assholes have left. Please stay safe during COVID. The virus is still out there. Wash your hands, wear masks, try not to touch things, especially if you're out protesting. Please stay safe, hide your identities. I know it's hard to stay, apart, just don't get up in someone's face. It's important that everybody stay safe right now. It is important to stand up for what you believe in, but we also want to stay safe and protect each other. So yeah, please be sure to do so. Okay, so something I want everyone to keep in mind, especially as you're listening to this podcast or other podcasts, is that it's okay to take a mental break. With everything that's going on, I know how stressful it can be. Everyone's trying to not get sick, trying to stand up for what's right, things like that. It is okay to just sit down for a few minutes and just live in a little bubble. It is not a crime to need a mental break. It's hard to worry about everything and everyone all at once, and you deserve a mental break. That's what I'm trying to do with this podcast. It's not just a break for me, but it's a break for you. Don't feel guilty about it, especially if you've been protesting or posting or doing whatever it is you need to do. Take a pause, sit down, relax for a little bit, however long this episode's going to be, and don't feel guilty about it. You're not doing anything wrong, unless you're racist, and it's okay. I feel like a lot of people are under this pressure that they need to just keep doing things and constantly be active and blah, 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 blah. Well, you don't. You can pause. It's okay. So yeah, just don't feel guilty. Don't worry about that. Relax, enjoy yourself, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. We're going to take a quick ad break and we'll be right back. Alright, so I hope you enjoy the ad break as much as you could. I know ads are not always fun, but you know what? I don't have a job right now. I kind of need money. So anyway, what are we doing today? Today we're going to be reading a short piece from my blog. For those of you that don't know, this podcast is actually inspired by my blog, Writing Until Ragnarok. That's writinguntilragnarok.com. You can follow my Twitter at Celine Lafay. I'll link everything in the description if I can figure out how to do that. So yeah, a brief explanation of the story. The story is called The Heat. I wrote it as a nonfiction piece in my nonfiction workshop sophomore year of college. We had, had little prompts that we had to write about, so I was just describing how hot it was. I went to school in Tucson, Arizona. I am not a heat person. I don't like the sun. I get very depressed when it's sunny outside. I am the opposite of seasonal depression, basically. So yeah, it's a short little piece that I wrote. Just a little heads up, I do stumble over my words sometimes when reading aloud. I don't know why, but my brain reads 10 times faster than the words coming out of my mouth. So just bear with me here as we read along. This story is posted on my blog. It's under my writing category. It is the oldest story in my blog, or the first one posted. To be fair, it hasn't even been up for a year. So here we go. Please enjoy this short piece called The Heat. The sun was creating such heat that the sidewalk seemed to melt under my feet. Waves of heat radiated off of everything, making my vision blurry. The palm trees that lined the grass strip on campus sat still as rocks without a breeze in sight, though even a breeze would be sweltering. The doors to the inside of the bookstore slid open over and over again as people desperately grasped for the cool air within. I sat in a leather chair just inside of the doorway, sweating and breathing heavy. My legs stuck to the chair without mercy as my hair gripped the back of my neck for dear life. I felt gross and sticky, desperate to have a bucket of ice-cold water poured onto me. The AC could only cool me down for a bit before I had to venture back out into the burning rays of the sun, back out into the burning inferno that was Tucson, Arizona. Which should have been a short walk, took ages. No one was going anywhere with any speed or passion because the heat was stealing their energy. I chose to come here and melt, but every day when I sweat gallons, I wonder if I made the right decision. Good college for my major, but not a good college for my body. A body that is naturally drawn to rainy days and cold buildings. A body that shrivels up whenever the sun comes out. Yet here I am, trudging on every day in the heat and sun to get a degree for a risky major. One day I'll live in a place that has seasons, where the heat is more forgiving. One day. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that first short story. If you're interested in reading it, or reading some other works that I've written, again, go check out my blog, writinguntilragnarok.com. That's WRITINGUNTILRAGNAROK.com. If you would like to follow my Twitter for updates on what's happening on my blog and eventually updates on this podcast, feel free to follow me on Twitter at Celine Laufey. That's at capital SELENE, capital LAUFEY. I really hope you enjoyed this podcast. I know it was short, but it's my first podcast. We're still figuring things out. Feel free to share this podcast with others, leave a like, anything to help promote it. If you're interested, I have a Discord that I promote on my Twitter, so go check out my Twitter and you can join my Discord to stay updated with everything, chat with other cool, creative, interesting people, and just have a good time. Thanks so much for listening. I look forward to having you back whenever I come back.